creep wave in mid and just even hitting him too. And you can't just sit back and let that happen, I feel, when you have a player like
Get Mushi in to infest it and eat it, and then go back to lane.
Seems good, Bamboo.
All right, on that note right there, Mr. Memer, we're going to go ahead and cut you off. We have a draft ready to go for game number 2, Fnatic versus MVP. We actually didn't get much of a chance to talk about it, but wanted to see what the new approach was going to be for game 2. And look at this. They maybe tried to bait out the Nature's Prophet for themselves, but Fnatic are going to go ahead and pick it up with their first pick.
Duper Earth Spirit. I don't think it's going to go to the second phase this time.
Bamboo obviously thinks that it's not worth to trade Nature's Prophet.
Only for some teams.
Only for some teams.
Only for some
how about MVP?
MVP, I think Dubu's is good enough.
Oh, then
But they don't
never
care.
mind.
They don't care.
I think Venue is more valuable. I mean, the hero is starting to get a really low win rate.
It is.
So.
I mean, is it that?
Still
I mean,
hope it gets nerfed.
there are still, without question, like we saw in the Hands of Fear earlier, there's just some players that will still make that hero look like it needs to be first ban worthy, but maybe they're recognizing some of the players who maybe can't take it to that level they might be able to exploit or take advantage of.
He did have a really good showing on the hero though on Fnatic.
did.
Like Chrissy.
It was against Secret, I believe, wasn't it? Or are you talking about Dubu or Fnatic?
No.
For Fnatic.
Chrissy, for Chrissy.
Yeah, no, DJ definitely.
I think
has
Dubu
played
was good with it too, though.
Dubu was good with
Alright,
it.
so this is the same.
And they might
This
still
is
be
the
able to
same
get it.
opening versus EG. They had EG. They had Prophet plus Chen.
We
But-
might actually see it ignored altogether.
But they had the, Nyx plus Bounty Hunter to deal with both of those?
Yeah, like Fear totally wrecked Chrissy's early game on the Chen in that game. So we'll see how MVP actually. They're probably not. Yeah, obviously they can't because they have Enchantress. So
Yeah.
it's going to be. I'm focusing on helping my own team, and you're going to help your own team. And Enchantress, as I said, like you can have 2 creeps at the start, so you're obviously going to do a better job than Chen. But the question remains whether the Chen should sacrifice his own time, like just go to the lane, persuade the creep, and just make sure your mid laner goes well.
It's a very different dynamic when there's a Prophet, though.
Yeah.
Good news for Fnatic.
Yeah,
For their mid lane.
Their lanes are better because of that.
Any reason maybe Fnatic could consider really going into hyperdrive, if you will, and just go all for the push? You already have a good start with Nature's Prophet and Chen. We haven't seen a lot of luck with Pugna so far, but he's one of the first heroes I think about when you really want to go all in with the
Shadow
push.
Shaman.
Yeah,
Shadow Shaman.
It's way better.
Shadow Shaman. I mean, all these others, these supports that can actually push.
Mijakiro.
Are you serious, Michakiro? You still on board that train?
Wow, an early Spectre grab going to be coming out from MVP. Obviously found them some good success in game number 1. We'll be seeing it in their hands again for game 2.
They're just inviting Fnatic to push them now, though. I think Spectre's good.
Spectre is
but
pretty okay against Prophet though in the laning phase because of the dagger. You can chase and run him down. And in the mid to late game, it's obviously also easy to catch the Prophet because you just need one person to rotate to, you camp in the lane for the Prophet to come and you can have Horn to actually kill the Prophet. So
But the push.
yeah, the push. I mean, what other D push heroes are remaining? I mean, they can go for like, as long as they have heroes.
Keeper of the light will never get played.
So we'll see whether Fnatic decides to go more into the push. Or they will go for the... I think in that game they went for a Bane, so that they can gank with the Chen. Is that correct? Against EG, yeah, they went for Bane Chen for the early game.
This time it will be a Lion. I guess it's a good way to quickly get rid of those pesky Spectre Haunt illusions. And
Do MVP play Nyx?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen that.
I'm sure they watch other games. So
Yeah.
it's
I think
probably
they
more in their minds now.
It's more like whether they want to play it or not. It fits their playstyle. It's fast. You don't really need too much farm on the hero, and he fights very well early game. You set up a kill for the Spectre.
That's a pretty trophy.
they had an earthquake there though, so everyone has to be really careful.
10 seconds remaining.
Sorry, Winter.
No, it's okay.
5
It's
seconds
okay.
remaining.
I was just gonna say it's safe in Malaysia. We don't have earthquakes there, so I was gonna invite you to come over to Malaysia.
Oh, next major in Malaysia? Sure.
So MVP Phoenix still looking for their mid hero. We talk about looking for D push. Wait.
Okay, so maybe they're just like,
No.
this is too tempting. We're gonna shove this Enchantress into a core position, it looks like, or we'll put it past them.
He's laughing. Dude, he was laughing. He was...
They did not see that coming. You're so clever.
I was gonna say the only other option I could think of is you technically could put Earth Spirit in an off lane. I haven't seen really any competitive teams go for it there, but more likely Enchantress is gonna be the one to kind of take that spot.
10 seconds remaining.
Do you think that Enchantress will have a really good time? I mean, Lion doesn't do very well, and you can actually even enchant the chat.
Almost fully depends on the safe laner though, right? It's like Jug, Ursa, etc.
Ooh, itsy spider.
Okay.
I was about to say that guy just fell asleep because of Brood, but he was already fast asleep. So.
Too bad it wasn't a
Wait.
Naga. That would have been beautiful.
Dude, this is a safe lane.
Haha,
Nah.
we saw him sleeping. Yeah.
Safe lane prophet. Safe lane prophet.
10
Good job,
seconds
you fell
remaining.
asleep during the game.
We found some
Couldn't it
corners.
just be jungle though?
Seconds remaining.
Jungle prophet, but they have Chen.
Oh.
Man, these guys
Mid
are
prophet?
these guys are just too much.
Iron Talon?
I know. I think it might be a mid prophet. I know sometimes they do it mid
Wait,
prophet.
did you just pitch Jungle Prophet with Chen?
Yeah, that's why I was like
Double greed.
this guy.
I was like, this guy.
He's the mango guy.
He
and
was
the
right
iron-
last game, I say, with his prediction.
Well,
Unfortunately.
you can't be wrong all the time.
Final ban from MVP will rid of the expected or
push.
plausible Mushi Lesh to add to the push, like you said, and Fnatic will rid of the Batrider with their final ban.
So I think they probably need a mid hero. I think it's more likely that Earth Spirit plus Bench will be their supports and Enchantress on off lane, and they need a mid hero that can fight very well, fast pace.
What if MP plays Earth mid?
I was just gonna say the same thing. I'm like, would you put it past him to kind of, do the secret thing and throw him in the mid lane?
But then Q or MP would do.
No, I don't.
don't think
I don't think you will put
Doesn't
those
seem
two
like
players.
it.
They have to be like on a hero that can
Waste the
stun.
talent of Dubu. Yeah.
No, I think you just want to put those two players on a core position. Sven, great versus Prophet, great versus the Spiders. You're not afraid of the Spiders when you have Cleave. So a very solid pick here. They probably didn't expect it too much because they already have the Spectre.
I mean, it could be a mid Earth Spirit and a support Sven.
They
And
could just
offlane
put
Enchantress.
Dubu in the mid lane with Earth Spirit.
They could have just put you on the Earth Spirit.
I would not
Alright,
do nearly as
that's
much
good.
justice as that, but I'm just saying, we got to consider all the possibilities here. Final grab for Fnatic is going to be an Ursa. I mean, would you say this is a bit of a head scratcher of a draft from both sides?
Man, if they don't do well in the lane, they're just gonna get run over by the Sven and the Spectre. This is very all in. Like, I don't know. Just
But
But-
who?
We don't know yet. they're going to wait to the bitter
yeah,
end
it's gonna
for
be
this
a
one.
mid prophet. It's gonna be a mid prophet
Versus mid Sven? And then you put Spectre against
that
Brood? Or
that
is it Spectre mid, maybe?
But Spectre is okay against Brood. Like you just need to get more points in dispersion. Like it's fine. I don't think it's actually that hard for Spectre.
We'll have to see how it's going to end up working out. In the meantime, though, we send it over to the arena where we have our casters. Capitalist and Blitz, gentlemen, have some fun.
Oh, we plan on it, Dakota. As you can already hear, the crowd is pumping it up. The draft is definitely interesting. Before we see where these heroes are actually going, I want to get Blitz.
Remaining.
Where are they going, Blitz? I want to see if you're actually right on this.
Brood off lane. No, Brood safe lane. Nature's Prophet mid. Then the other.
And then some sort of aggro dual
Yeah.
lane.
Prepare for
And then
battle.
it's mid Sven? Or they match the Sven against the Brood, right?
You have to just match this one against the Brood.
Okay.
Almost certain that's what the game plan is. That's
Okay,
kind
so
of
if
the
it's
cool
safe
part.
lane Brood, then you put off lane Sven.
Yeah, which I think
Alright.
is a lot better for Fnatic to force that kind of movement, right?
Uh-huh.
Because then it's just on offlane Sven and be like, okay, that guy's screwed.
Yeah. All right, let's see. They are not going to be forcing that. You are basically right when it comes to what Fnatic are going to be running. It's a mid Furion. They're running an off-lane Broodmother, so that's basically just a swap. They chose not to go for the aggressive situation. MVP Phoenix are going to be running that off-lane Enchantress as expected, and QO, well, he's going to be mid because they want to keep the Sven against the Broodmother, so he's going to be playing a Stout Shield Double Tango Spectre.
Okay,
30
so
seconds to battle.
MVP are definitely out of their comfort zone for this game.
Yeah.
This is not what they expected to play against. But that's just what Broodmother can do to you sometimes.
Yeah.
She kind of just turns things really topsy-turvy.
That was certainly quite the wild card that Fnatic threw us in the drafting phase with that Broodmother pickup, but we have our Bounty Rune spawning now. Looks like we are not going to have any sort of engagement, just a pure split. Looks like Furion's actually going to be maybe blocking out the Enchantress camp to begin with if he gets another Nature's Call. These Treants aren't going to last long enough. I wonder if
Yeah.
it would be worth it.
I do really like MVP's lineup though, overall. I think they have a lot of team fight with the heroes that they have. A lot of single target stun, they've got AoE, they've got the Spectre Haunt for presence. Fnatic, they've probably got the better overall lanes out of this, almost certainly do actually, but what matters most, Cap, is can you actually turn that into teamfight wins? Because when it comes to that, Fnatic, they don't have a lot of disable. Brood is a hero that you have to fight around, and you're going to have to play 4v5 without any sort of huge control factors out of Fnatic. So this laning phase, they're relying pretty heavily on it.
MP is sitting in the mid lane as the Sven against the Furion. The funny thing is they kind of need the Sven in both lanes, right? They're going to get a cleave Sven that's going to be matched up against one of these minion heroes, Broodmother or the Furion, and they actually choose to run it mid here. The poor man's shield is going to help him out, but he's going to need a lot more regen than what he's got now. Meanwhile, the top lane, they've actually thrown down a counter ward, and they're zoning out Ohio really damn well. He hasn't gotten a single point of experience yet.
Yeah, and I guess it's the other side of things that you can do. You can just make sure that your Spectre...
Oh, not again. Satyr Tormentor misses its shockwave, so Sven is going to be able to get back away from that one, but now we lose some of his healing salve. Body blocked up as well. It doesn't get much worse for this poor Sven.
You can kind of tell who the Chinese fans want to win.
Oh, yeah.
Because every single time that Satyr throws that Hadouken out, they just cheer like it's the World Cup. Like, everybody's so excited.
I mean, considering that this really is becoming one of the MVPs of the tournament. Oh, Jesus.
And then when it's on, this is the best. Just how they react to that.
Dubu is going to spot out Ohio here, who is finally getting some experience. Oh, there's the sound of the crowd going wild. That's another hit. MP's actually very low now. He's only down to 100 HP.
Like, DJ, in all the games that I see him most successful is Chen. He doesn't even play Chen. He's a Satyr Tormentor.
Oh, you know the game with Ohio apparently? Oh, he hits another one. MP, he's got to be careful. He could be body blocked up here. They're going to go for the dive, the war cry.
He's got another
He will be able to get out, but the net comes in from the side. And DJ, he picks up the kill, and the crowd goes wild.
They're even zooming in on the Chinese stream of that Satyr Tormentor.
They are super hyped. This is rapidly becoming one of the MVPs of the tournament. Meanwhile, we haven't talked about this bottom lane at all, really, but it is a lane that Forev has to be careful of. He's facing up against an Ursa with the high disabler in the Lion. If the Lion is sitting in this bottom lane, Forev's just got to kind of keep his distance.
Yeah, the Broodlings are just kind of being annoying, and MVP, they're going to put a lot on this safe lane Spectre. He's getting pretty much free farm, but this mid-Sven experiment has not gone ideally.
No, it certainly has not. MP is just blowing through regen so quickly that he's not actually getting any progression in items, especially with the way that mid one is denying the hell out of him with his phase boots advantage. He's got 9 denies already.
Right now, DJ though.
Should they be rotating the Earth Spirit into mid lane? I know they're trying everything they can to shut out the Broodmother, but you've kind of reached a point where that's no longer possible.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to go for. Earth Spirit is not a hero that was meant to just sit in the lane. You want to try to get active with this guy as much as you possibly can. Your Sven desperately needs some help. This is what has allowed MVP to be so successful in this tournament, these mid-rotations, but...
That being said, with this kind of vision here, as well as just the presence of the Broodmother, Ohio's not seeing any of these supports. And you could see the way the mid one is playing really far to the right-hand side, expecting this to be a smoking from the supports. The reality is, though, MVP Phoenix, they're actually going to try and rotate behind Ohio. I guess they want the Spectre to push out the lane, and they're going to try and go for it. Oh, Dubu just got spotted.
Did he just get hit by the tower?
Well, yeah, he really did. What an awkward situation. They are going to be able to get the dust as well as the kick onto Ohio. They're going to follow this up with a stun, and they will be able to finally kill the Broodmother, making it a 2 for 1, sorry.
Yeah, surprising that still worked out. And meanwhile at bottom, Forev is going to go down. Ursa being one of the best counters to that core Enchantress. He just rips through her really quickly. That combination too, Net plus Mushi, like Lion is so good against heroes like Enchantress.
Yeah, Fnatic, their draft is a little bit wonky. Not actually that much. It's more MVP Phoenix with their mid spend, but they did everything they could in the draft to directly counter Fnatic. It's not like they were focusing on their own style that much.
Yeah, they're
Enchantress countered by Ursa. The Broodmother, obviously. Oh, the jump in. They're actually going to try and go on mid one. Body blocked up. No, the phase boots allow mid one to be able to stay ahead. They're actually going to turn and kill Dubu as they thought they had the advantage. They get the tier 1 tower at least for MVP Phoenix, but losing their support.
Still, overall,
Oh, God.
really good start from Fnatic as the double Satyrs now come out.
The Chinese.
This is
It was a little bit of a ooh and ah.
Yeah, everybody's so hype about the double Satyr right now. I wish the English crew could see this.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Well, we'll see how effective it is. Frev actually rotated up to the top lane. Just maybe giving up on bottom. Perhaps this is too dangerous against the phase boots. Ursa, mid lane's going to be a bit of a dive here. Double Santa Blast comes out. A nice stun from MP, though. He threw it onto net to hit both mid one and DJ on the side. And the rotation from MVP Phoenix. They will successfully get net here as they should be able to combo up their stun. Another right click. They get it. Dubu's deep inside the tower. Double Santa Blast. They're actually going to be able to block in Dubu a little bit. There's no way he's getting away from this one.
That Sven stun could not have possibly hit more things. Like, it caught the entire creep wave, both the Satyrs, 2 heroes, which allowed him to get out, but still just a trade from MVP and Fnatic as they lose support for support. I think Fnatic are still going to be really satisfied with how the laning phase went, but that is what we expected out of them. Like, we expected this laning phase to be really advantageous towards Fnatic, and they're just looking like the stronger team right now, as the Spectre's not going to match up well against this Ursa.
Oh, Jesus! 48 HP as out of nowhere 320 damage hits the poor Enchantress. Bottom lane QO's going to be gone on. He does have the dagger out, needs to be able to stay away ahead of Mushi, but he's been hexed up. Mushi starts going for QO. He realities around, trying to do this out, but he's going to be going down eventually. The stun hits Mushi. He's underneath the tier 1 tower still, but a nice stun comes out from net. They'll lose their support. Mushi's trying to juke back in for some sort of TP, but MP's locked on, and that is well worth the trade of the Spectre.
Still, the Spec is... I don't know, the Spec's the hero that you are trying to protect at all costs. He still manages to die, even with your entire team there. MVP have to get something out of this, as they're gonna lose their mid tower if they're not careful, and this top tower is gonna get pressured pretty heavily by Ohio. As Spec's not gonna rotate up here, but he's gonna have a hard time clearing all these creeps.
Yeah, just gonna try and pull it off the tower as best as possible while MVP Phoenix take the bottom lane. We're actually gonna have some sort of aggressive smoke scenario. Fnatic already TPing into the tier 2 tower. They're doing well behind to make sure they don't get scouted out by a ward like this.
Yeah, they're just trying to ruin Kyo's life because they know that, again, Kyo represents a lot of MVP's mid-game, late-game potential. So slowing him down, putting pressure,
Dire's middle tower.
they know this is their way to victory, and they're gonna...
Tranquil Boots and
Dive this
Phase
pretty
Boots, they've
hard.
got a huge movement speed advantage to be able to catch QO. They've already hit him with the Hex, should be able to follow this up rather easily as QO's not making it out of here. What
Really
about
good
Roshan?
rotation.
What? Alright,
They have the damage for this?
God String?
They don't even have that. This is a bit awkward, but I guess they think they can do it. They don't want to give it up to the Ursa, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, at this point in time, you got to make some risky maneuvers, right? If you're MVP Phoenix, this
Yeah.
game is not going well.
The laning phase went just way too poorly for them.
Oh God, Brev! Brev, get out of there, friends! MVP Phoenix.
They're gonna know about this now because of the ward.
Oh God, this is so bad. MVP Phoenix, they've got to get out of here. The counter ward already being laid down.
can't believe
Lion's
they're
gonna
still
start
in
leading
here.
the way, but Roshan slowed down these heroes. The tornado starts coming in, and MVP Phoenix back themselves away.
This makes it really convenient now. Fnatic are like, thank you. We really needed this.
They did. Ursa's gonna make his way over, I think, or not.
They really should take this themselves because they know that MVP are in no position to fight them. They do it quite quickly, but MVP are all gathered up. They just don't have levels though.
Maybe it's the danger of the Spectre that, you know, because it's a 4 versus 4, but Spectre has Haunt, it would be a numbers advantage to...
No, I feel like they deal with it pretty well. I think they should just go for it. Mushi, don't worry about it. I've seen Mushi do crazier things this tournament.
That's certainly true.
This half HP Roshan is definitely not... it's not even up there.
It's definitely not in the top 10 risks of Mushi. Okay, well, them not going for it does lead an opportunity now for MVP Phoenix to actually get aggressive with the 3-man smoke. They have the Haunt ready to go as well. Or no, he's actually going back to base. He's got the mana now. It's coming in soon. They're going to pop the reality, jump in. Moosh is going to be the first target. He's not going to be able to get off and enrage. DJ is actually going to be caught by the dagger. They try and slow him down as Zubu rolls on in. They hit the two-man stun, actually slowing down MP. That's going to help as DJ gets enough time to be able to get out. Net, he's got a TP out. He's going to go for it. The stun gets kicked out. Zubu's able to stop it, so it's a two-man gank. But still, that was a lot committed from MVP Phoenix once again. And the Broodmother, she's just going to take the tier 2 tower at top lane.
Yeah, and mid one just continues to farm out. MP's going to TP up here, but MVP, they're going to go for Roshan again. They really want this. They've got the 3 levels of the Wave of Terror. Now that QO's here, they might actually have the damage to do it.
Yeah, it seems like it. Sven is dealing with the top lane as he's got 2 levels of cleave and he's tanky, so he can actually stop this Broodmother push.
Yeah, and Fnatic, they really wanted this. MVP with a pretty fantastic fight. Fnatic, like we talked about, they wanted more than just this laning phase to go well.
Yeah.
Mushi got blown up in that fight though. It did allow the rest of his teammates to get out though, because they used so many stuns onto just him.
Ushi starts coming in. They're going to try and block up these supports. TP out from Febby. The damage though is just too fast for Mushi.
Mushi makes a Venge sandwich. She's gonna go down. This is gonna probably mean the tier 1 tower at bottom. The Sven is preoccupied with top. It's gonna be hard for him to rotate out. He does need lifesteal if he's gonna deal with this long term. And he's gotten 4 levels of the Warcry instead of the cleave.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're going to keep going for tier 2. It feels a bit dangerous with the Aegis up still on the Spectre. And yeah, it looks like they'll just back out. Play for some farming time. QO will complete the Drums of Endurance. They've got plenty of time on Fnatic. They don't have to worry about the Radiance anytime soon with the way that that pressure has been put down from Ohio.
Yeah, they're still doing okay. The rest of their lanes are getting quite a bit. Even with the Roshan and the bottom tower being missing, they're still up 2,000 gold. They're getting quite a lot of farm on their Broodmother. It's more just a situation of you don't want to take another fight like that and allow the Spectre, who's already at the top of the net worth charts, to get another advantageous fight to him.
Yeah.
You want to try to get that Blink Dagger on Mushi and start to get aggressive all around the map. And you want to be the ones jumping in, most importantly.
So some farming time perhaps for Mushi to get another 1,000 gold, so we can have that kind of initiating item. Ned setting up right now with the Invis rune on top of Forev. Mushi's going to start making his way over with this instant stun. They've got the Finger of Death too, actually.
Oh, Forev is just going to make his way out.
Yeah, Ursa's just a bit too slow. They're going to try and wrap around, catch QO, but even if they did, he's got Aegis. I doubt they kill him twice.
They might be able to blow him up once, but they've got to get out immediately after, and
Right.
Mushi just is like, we can't do this.
Ohio's having a lot of fun with these Spiderlings. It's just a pack roaming around this tier 2 tower. Anytime the supports push out, he starts attacking them.
Yeah, but they're going to lay down the sentry, make this a little bit more difficult for him, as MP's going to come in, clear things up as his teammates struggle to deal with the Broodlings.
I mean, if they're going to use so many heroes to address the Broodmother, this leaves an opening for Fnatic to pressure the tier 2 at bottom.
Yeah. QO is so lucky though that he has the Aegis. This is kind of what allows this to be okay, because MVP don't have to worry about their Spectre too much. Any other scenario, they probably just dive him and kill him.
They're going to go for him now, but he managed to get the dagger into the trees. He pops himself into this pathway on the side. Now he's going to commit the haunt. See if he can slow down the retreat of Fnatic. On the side, looks like they're going to be going for mid one. Just full committing for this kill. They hit the stun from Dubu, follow-up silence. And a decent pick off there from MVP Phoenix. But again, it's another 5-man rotation from them.
I'm really surprised that they decided to go for that. Like, they have to know that it's right next to a tier 2 tower.
Yeah.
That's almost never going to be cleaner for MVP to get into a fight with. And even then, it was an Aegis that lasted for a full 2 minutes after that. Like, I don't think they could kill him twice. All that represents to me is risk. They're going to create space for Ohio, but I don't even think that was worth it.
Oh, definitely not worth it if QO gets the deny like that.
Fnatic just have to kind of calm themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they've been in this position before, 1 game away, yesterday against OG when it was 1-1. This time they don't have that game to back them up, but still, their lanes put them in a really advantageous situation. Mushi just has to tell his squad, guys, relax. We're forcing things way too much right now. We can split the map up. We'll find opportunities once this Aegis is down, but that's the key here.
What about mid one's build here? It's a Nature's Prophet. What kind of game is this for Furion?
You could go for the Ags, but that shoves in the lanes pretty frequently.
Yeah, against a Sven and a Spectre, feels like that would just be too much extra farm for them.
Yeah, I see people like Mind Control and Universe often go for the Maelstrom route.
Okay, some more of a damage right-click build.
Yeah, but they also have like Drum's mech to go with it too.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit different here with Chen already having that. I'm not. The Ags is okay from Nature's Prophet, I guess, in this game if you just want to keep applying pressure. But at some point you have to end the game and not just like feed Treants and Broodlings.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be a bigger plan to this, and Mushi's now gonna complete the Blink Dagger on himself, but he is dropping behind in levels. And farm-wise, he's even behind the Sven right now.
Yeah, the Radiant Siders losing out on that first Roshan has really slowed down his farm quite a bit. They haven't been able to play the same kind of aggressive game that Fnatic were planning on.
He still does rip apart a lot of the heroes from
Yeah.
MVP. Like this Enchantress is going to go down real quickly. Same with the Spectre before. Even after the Radiance, like the mischance, the Ursa hits so many times that it doesn't matter. And it is indeed going to be the Maelstrom from the Nature's Prophet, which is what we expected.
Part of the problem is going to be this maxed out Warcry build from MP. It's really going to help deal with the damage from all these heroes. Actually, they're primarily physical damage from Fnatic.
Yeah, this is not going to be the stereotypical Sven that we see either.
Oh, jump in onto Forev, see if you can pop him. Mushi is sent back at the same time. They plan that out so they can quickly jump in. Nice TP out as well. So MVP Phoenix actually blow a lot. I think that was a really good read by Fnatic.
Oh, that was...
Like we've seen MVP Phoenix every single time there's any sort of aggression, they rotate 5 heroes. And it's somewhat worth it when they're able to get a kill from it, or 2. But this time around, they play really safe. They feint an attempted kill, force MVP Phoenix to do that, 5-man rotation like they're prone to do, and they keep everyone safe.
Yeah, that was a really cool attempt by them. Like the Sven, or the set Chen setback.
Oh, if they can get a lightning proc here from mid one, they can kill Dubu. Never mind. DJ comes in from the side, able to blow him up. Now Forev's going to be the next target. The imp is snagged by DJ. Not on your deli. They're going to be able to grab Forev, stun him up. Fnatic, they found the opening now to really take control of this game. And if they could get the next Roshan, they can complete some objectives.
Yeah. Fnatic have, they had such a good laning phase. After that, it became a little bit shaky after the Roche fight, but so far, Fnatic are just doing the right things that they need to. They're getting a little bit more patient. They're setting things up a little bit better without heavy committing anything, because that's what MVP wants them to do. Yeah. They want Fnatic to heavy commit. All Fnatic have to do is get map control, use that to take the Roshan, get the Aegis, and MVP are going to be hard-pressed to take down that Ursa twice.
MP, he's been waiting a long time for this opportunity, and he's finally in a position to go for it. Now the creep wave is in the wrong spot for him. He's still in a position where he can instantly get the stun, God Strength, and kill Net. Gonna go for it now, and yeah, he just chops down Net. That was a well worth the commitment. Meanwhile, the top lane, oh, Femi's gonna go down. That's a twofer. Fnatic kill both the Spectre as well as the Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, they're doing such a good job with the map control right now, and MVP, they're just not really respecting Fnatic's ability to get around the map. Because you have a Broodmother and a Nature's Prophet, the lanes are going to be pushed in. It's going to be hard for MVP to get wards out as a result. And without the vision, MVP, they've got to play a little bit further back. He was being a little bit greedy, trying to get that Radiance at a decent time, but MP at bottom.
MP should still be able to get away from this one. Did he actually? No, yeah, brought the creeps in. MP just needs enough space to be able to get a blink out, and he could TP away. He is successful.
Yeah, he's really hard to bring down with the Warcry and the Blink Dagger. He's got good move speed from the drums too.
Let's take a look at some of our metrics here. 7K net worth lead for Fnatic, 2K experience.
Hey, they've done a really good job of controlling up the map right now, and they just have to continue to apply pressure to QO.
Oh, Ohio. Good spot out there from Febby. He scouted that one, they threw out the dust, and he also Wave of Terror to get the vision. Swap allows them to get the opening.
That actually cost them a lot, though. They had to use a spec hunt, which means the next Roshan fight is going to be impossible for them to take, I feel. And without any items on QO, he gets bursted down by the Ursa quickly. And that's all Fnatic are waiting for right now. The fact that they're getting kills on top of that cap, and trading out around the map while they're waiting for this massive objective is great for them. They're like, we're still accomplishing things while we're waiting for this Aegis to come up, but once it does come up, that's when we'll kind of strike. Looks like they want to go for this top, or this bottom tier 2 at the same time.
So what did MVP Phoenix do in the meanwhile? If we're talking about Roshan, do they actually contest it?
No, I think you just delay.
Okay.
Bushi's gonna walk into the Rosh pit, but without the haunt, I feel like this is a nearly impossible fight for them to take.
Perhaps just trying to deal with some of those neutrals. Finally, Roshan is up.
Kyo should just wait for the relic before they even do anything.
Oh, Net and Nature's Prophet, they're going to go for MP this time around. They should be able to pop him. They've got the Finger of Death available. Net's going to blow it out, and a couple more right clicks. There it is. The Sprout should be enough time. A blink, nope. Lion stops it, and MP, he'll finally go down. Double blink from Fnatic, make sure there's no escape. On the right-hand side, though, MVP Phoenix, they're dealing with the Broodmother. Be a great opportunity for them to try and get some sort of pick, but MVP Phoenix just don't have the counter vision out. Roshan, meanwhile, will be taken by Mushi with ease.
Yeah, the Sven is really starting to realize, I think even more importantly than Wand, he needs a Quelling Blade.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. With Roshan taken, this is going to mean the bottom tier 2 tower, most likely for MVP right after. They're pinging it already. Frev's going to pick up a gem of his own, saying we need to get some of our vision back, maybe even get free kills on the Broodmother where we can get them. But MVP are desperate now. They're just like, hold behind this Spectre. Maybe we can just high ground bait them into overextending, which we've seen teams do, especially out of Mushi. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities. But Fnatic are in firm control of this game right now.
You know how we were talking about how arcane boots are kind of necessary from your supports when you have an Ursa?
Yeah.
They only have one on the side of Fnatic, but Ursa's still having some mana problems. And what they're doing is oftentimes just sending Mushi back. He's been sent back to base, I think, like 5 or 6 times in this game. And he's got the movement speed that there's not that much downtime for him.
I see like CTY and Aggressive, they just vary themselves clarities even like 25 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
So it's not too surprising. If anything, it's probably more efficient, but MVP, they're just kind of stuck in their base. They've got to wait for passive creeps to come forward, which means Fnatic will always get further and further ahead. Because they have both the creeps that are being shoved back to them and the jungle to work with.
Completed Mjolnir is coming in soon for mid one. That's going to be super dangerous if they can actually put an Ursa, a lightning bear, on the front line. They're going to catch QO here. Fetty needs a swap. He gets it off, but it's a short range swap. Still, it's enough for QO to be able to get away. Poor Fetty, though, stuck in the jungle against the bear. He's not going to make it out alive. Mushi, meanwhile, is being chased away. He's actually going to lose his Aegis.
And that is not an Aegis that they wanted to lose. That was going to be their high ground advantage Aegis, but they might still decide to go for it anyways because they know that MVP are not quite at their item timings yet, but Spectre now does have the Haunt plus the Radiance, and that might prompt Fnatic to be a little bit more careful here.
Trying to deal with the Shen creeps, but he managed to keep most of them alive. Oh, that wasn't the play. That's an awkward one. Mushi's stuck inside the trees in front of the tier 3 tower. QO's going to take this opportunity to go for it. Mid one is going to be the first target, though, from MP as well as Juvo. They've already killed the Ursa as well. Jesus, MVP. They're just rolling through Fnatic. Oh, no. What happened? Mushi. He didn't pop his ultimate, right?
He didn't pop anything. Like, he just kind of got blown up there. Like, they were sending him back, and I think Fnatic were like, oh, this is fine. Like, our Ursa will pop his ulti, and,
yeah,
you know, he'll get... The weird thing is they ignored him, too. Like, the Sven had his stun, and he didn't even bother going for Mushi, because he's like, oh, Mushi will just pop in rage. There's no point. But then the kick gets him on the way out, and then he just got bursted. And you can see the frustration is... I think he knows, like, that was not what they wanted to happen.
Plus,
like,
if Furion was a very high net worth hero, that by itself was a worthy kill for MVP Phoenix, but then they're going to get Mushi, they got the Chen, and they're going to be able to get Net as well.
You can't afford to make these mistakes against a Spectre. Like, Fnatic are gonna be so disappointed. They wasted the Aegis in the original attempt just picking up a Vengeful Spirit. And now in this attempt, they lose 3 heroes just because they were a little bit late. Like, the Ursa blinks in straight into the Sprout. That was like the worst possible thing that could have happened for them. There's no Force Staff or anything to speak of.
Yeah, Mushi's sitting there going, I really didn't think I had to get a Quelling Blade as well.
A little bit of miscommunication, and this is most likely going to be Net going down. They have swap on him.
How is he possibly going to escape?
Oh,
The Radiance is keeping the Blink Dagger from coming up.
Yeah. Do you notice Febby has the swap selected? So I think this means that he's going to swap the spec and try to get the stun off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that actually could be bad. If somehow Net turns around... Oh, never mind. Net already blew our spike.
He's got the Hex, though.
Yeah.
It depends on the order that he does this.
So if he turns around, hits the Vengeful Spirit with the Hex...
Yeah, because even if MP blinks forward, he doesn't have a stun up. So Net might get away from this if he plays this correctly.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it damn perfectly. Alright, see if the swap's going to go down. Febby can hit that missile, and he will. Net throws down the Hex, but it's just too late. Plus QO is super fast, so. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Ohio, he's going to go down as well. That is a wipe. We thought it was just going to be a Furion, maybe a Chen as well, but Fnatic misplays turn into a complete wipe, and MVP Phoenix, there's some happy campers now.
That is so disappointing for them, especially with the advantage that they had built up. They worked so hard to get all of this map control, and just in one single team fight, a lot of it goes away. At one point, they were up 10k net worth, but experience, that's not the graph that you want to see.
Pummeling downwards when you're dealing with a Spectre and a Sven.
Yeah. Oh, his keyboard isn't working. That might have been why he wasn't able to get the Hex in response to the Venge. Like, he probably had to click it, actually.
MVP Phoenix, being the nice guys that they are, not going to worry about time too much. So where does Fnatic go from this? Because obviously MVP Phoenix, they're very happy. They're willing to just stall for time, let this game draw out as much as possible with Spectre and Sven. They've got some really core items coming in, such as the BKB for the Sven. But Fnatic are much more in the awkward position. Draw me up a game plan. Blitz, how do they win?
Try to get some smoke ganks off. You do have one available on the line. Plus the Ursa is quite good at dealing with the Spectre still. It's just these repeated attempts can't go wrong. Like, your best chance is probably Aegis, but just like get map control, try to get 1 or 2 ganks off on a cores, hem MVP in, get control of the jungle again, push them further and further into their base. For MVP, the game plan is simple. You know, just let creeps filter to you. Wait for Fnatic to misplay going for the high ground. Because playing high ground against a Spectre is always scary. We saw that when they had to play against Alliance that first time around. Make one, just like drop the ball once. That 10k lead that you once had does not look that threatening anymore.
Yeah, especially with the way that MVP Phoenix are able to chase down heroes. You're never going to be able to fully escape from this team.
Yeah. You know what the crazy thing is? I think a lot of people were afraid of what the crowd would look like after a lot of the Chinese teams had been eliminated, but they have showed up in full force.
Yeah, they had to open up the top floor this morning just to be able to let some extra people in.
There are so many people, no exaggeration.
It's been a great crowd so far as well.
Yeah. You know, they react. It's like, okay, sometimes I'll see a Western audience react to like a good pick or an interesting pick. These guys get like pissed when maybe he's Razor.
yeah, the ooze.
They sounded disappointed. They're like,
that
wasn't the hero.
Nope. Bad call, bad call.
And I can
Meanwhile,
tell.
Western audience is like, whatever you want, PPD.
Yeah, we trust. It's all on
PPD,
you, man.
We trust. Make America great again.
I feel the burn for me, man. Alright, but you know what? I was gonna say that stage is like the best part about this entire event.
It does look very pretty.
It looks so cool from the top-down view when you're high up the rafters. I was up there the other day, like I went to the 4th floor. It looks majestic up there.
Why did you go all the way up there?
I just wanted to see what it was like.
Blitz, you've lost a lot of games in your time in competitive Dota.
Yes.
You're in a position like Fnatic, headspace-wise. What are you feeling?
You want to know? So you're asking, as a former Zephyr player, what it's like to be a loser?
Yes, that's
Okay,
exactly
okay.
what I'm asking.
This is my wheelhouse. You know, this
I
is
knew.
where I fit in.
This is why I brought you on as a co-caster.
I've been waiting for somebody to ask me what it's like to be in a losing position. Fnatic, I think, it's almost always just a mental game at this point because they have to realize, okay, we still have map control. The net worth lead is still in our favor. We can still win this game. It's just you have to reset yourself.
Jesus, and the crowd goes wild for Twan. You should hear them cheer for Mushi as well.
Yeah, they love him here.
They do.
No, but it's really hard. Like you lose a fight like that, you have to kind of refocus up, collect yourselves, and say it's all right. I hear what Mushi said to his team, by the way. Did you hear about that? Like
No.
in the interview. You remember we said a lot of the analysts too. Like after that second game.
Oh yeah,
Fnatic.
nobody
How do you
expected
recover?
Fnatic to come back from that.
Yeah, but apparently what Mushi told his team was, guys, it's actually them that should be worried. Like they're the favorites here. We're the underdogs. Nobody thought that these games were going to be that hard, and the fact that we were able to get that close to beating them is going to put a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah.
And hearing those kinds of words, honestly, like from my competitive experience and my captain's telling me that kind of just makes me feel like I'm going to win this game for you. Like I'm going to do this game. I can feel it. Mushi was kind of the reason they lost, but for him to be able to come back and say that, it's really heartening.
Yeah.
And I feel like that shows a lot of leadership. He's gonna have to once again take this, unplanned pause time to collect himself and say, guys, let's relax a little bit. We're getting a little bit too overeager. We're smelling blood and we're just rushing headlong in without thinking about it. Let's take a little bit of time to reset, refocus up.
I see somebody in a pink jacket inside the Fnatic booth. I can only guess that's Bruno, as no other man would wear that.
Could be anybody.
could be anybody. Yeah, anybody rocks that kind of fashion. What about MVP Phoenix? What does the victory mean for them here?
I think a victory for them just kind of validates a lot. I know these guys pretty well from my experience. Like Zephyr, when we first got there, they also started playing competitive Dota as a group. And I know they don't get a lot of support like from Korea because Dota's not like the primary game there or anything like that. But I think it just means a lot for them individually. Like we made this decision to get into a game, which is hard. A lot of people were ahead of us, but through dedication and hard work, we've been able to kind of keep up and actually catch up to a lot of these teams.
Even if you are in a disenfranchised region, it's all about just wanting it more than the other team.
I mean, they're just willing to put out a little bit more from that. I remember when we were on Zephyr, we'd play them in KDL, we'd beat them, and that night, like, we'd be celebrating and stuff like that, and they would be looking for scrims. We'd beaten them, like, not 2 hours ago. They'd just gotten home. Instead of just, like, yelling or getting frustrated, they're just like, let's play Dota. Like, that's what we're here for. We're not here to argue. We're here to get better. And eventually they did, and now look at the stage that they're on. The game is now going to resume once again.
So after a wipe, those of you who may have nodded off during that pause, recollection, it's 13-14 right now, 25 minutes in. MVP Phoenix are in a great position, despite the net worth advantage still being in the favor of Fnatic. The MVP Phoenix just won a great fight. They have the better late game, and they're going to be able to get even more objectives, it seems, than just winning a fight. They're going to try and push down this middle tier 1 tower, though Fnatic are coming up. It looks like it's about time for MVP Phoenix to retreat.
Yeah. As
Mushi's hungry. He's going to be able to catch Bebby.
They might even get FP over here.
Yeah, they are actually trying to control FP's here pretty nicely. Good kick down on the Sprout. He's going to be able to free up MP. A stun goes down. Brev, he's almost going to be blown up as they drop the jet. Dodo's going to go down as well. Fnatic coming back in style. They're going to be able to get a fourth one. Hello, Mushi! Fnatic get everything they wanted. We're talking about headspace. How do you get your head back into this game? Well, a fight like that is everything for Fnatic in Game 2 to make this a potential tie.
They have so much momentum on their side right now. They're going to push this so quickly. MVP, they're going to be kicking themselves. Where did it all go wrong? They fought so hard to get back into an even position, but Fnatic just thrust it away. They're going to take the first set of racks here in this game and apply even more pressure to them. And that was so puzzling as MVP, they didn't have the Haunt available. They were so spread out in that fight.
They just seemed too confident and wanted to be able to save their allies, save a friend syndrome. Strikes once again as they end up, the result being they lose their melee racks.
Yeah, they've once again wrested control away from MVP as Fnatic are, right after that pause, it really did look like they're just like, okay, here's what we have to do, immediately engage. They were ready for it, MVP wasn't. MVP was trying to like, say, let's collect our losses. Try to save this one guy, maybe we can get a quick kill.
Yeah.
Haunt's gonna be popped.
No, they can't afford to lose. Oh, they are going to be able to at least kill Net. They're going to jump on Mushi here. Mushi turns and fights QO. The Suns come in though, just in time. QO turns around and finishes off Mushi.
As soon as any team gets any sort of advantage, they're just like, nope, gonna strike right back.
Ether Lens complete. What is that on the courier? We've got QO's completed Manta style, so rip supports. That is never fun. Fnatic are gonna have a hard time with both DJ as well as Net surviving through this. Fortunately, the Lion does have a Glimmer Cape, so that's probably one of the better items you could have against the Spectre at this point.
Yeah. And QO now has the Manta style completed. Another item to
DJ.
keep him alive.
Nice. They're going to be able to spot out MP here. The follow-up. Oh, kick turnaround. Uh-oh. Mid one did not think this engagement was going to go this way. He gets taken out. DJ is probably going to fall as well until the sun comes out. Duba's actually going to lose his life. As Net trying to right-click him down. They're turning around. Duba's hoping to be able to get a kick off, but it's not in time. The Hex gets played out. MP, he's staying on top of DJ, who's trying desperately to be able to kite him around inside the trees. Duke away. Nope. He's not going to be able to do it. MP stays on top of him on the left-hand side. QO, he's already being gone on by Mushi, but Mushi now the turnaround at the end range runs out. QO battling up against Ohio, but he's not going to be able to get him. QO gets away. The buyback here from mid one is also going to be useless as QO TP's back to base. MVP Phoenix, another fight as the momentum of this game is incredibly back and forth.
Yeah, and I think they just got a lot of control back, especially if they can get this tier 2. Fnatic also had to commit the buyback of their top net worth hero. And mid one decided, he's like, maybe our team can hold for a little bit longer, and MVP are going to push this advantage because they have the haunt up. Kyo can get there in a moment's notice as mid one does a lot of damage. Kyo's got to be careful, but this bottom tower push is quite big. Fnatic, they don't have the buyback available on any of their heroes.
Net, he couldn't get off the Glimmer Cape in time, so MT's able to quickly kill him.
They lost their Inertia's Prophet too.
Oh, that was a buyback. This means a full lane of rags. Mushi's going to be coming up in 5 more seconds, but I don't think he can fight without his disablers. They're going to try for it, though. The TP already forward. They're going to buy back on the line. They have to catch up, but MVP Phoenix, they've already made a clean escape.
Fnatic, they use the buyback on the Nature's Prophet. He goes down immediately, and then Net decides to buy back right before he's about to respawn, hoping that he can catch anybody, but MVP clean escape. And what was again a 10k lead that, you know, they had briefly given up after that top engagement swings all the way down. The XP is even more dire.
It's actually in the favor of MVP Phoenix by about 5k. Still though, Fnatic do have a big opening. Roshan is coming up soon. They desperately need to be able to claim this Aegis.
Yeah, and MVP... Still, they have a lot to work with. The QO has the Diffusal Blade now. It's gonna kite the Ursa quite well. He doesn't have a BKB. That might actually be the next item that they have to wait for.
So unfortunate. Mushi was pretty close to that BKB after that mid-fight. They came back. He had so much gold racked in, but ended up losing a large share of it, especially with the buyback. A 4 staff ether lens for Febby. They're going to have an AC soon for MP. Yeah, Fnatic are just sitting back, waiting on BKB at this point, it seems.
Yeah. And QO's just gonna farm out this jungle with his Manta Illusions. An even Rax trade for MVP is, they don't get the melee, or the ranged one, but that matters very little right now. So they're just happy to be in an even Rax scenario against a team that features a Broodmother and a Chen. Ursa, though, is just power farming. He's like, I have to get this BKB or the next Aegis. And if you get the next Aegis, you have to really make it work for you.
MVP Phoenix have set up a lot of vision around this Roshan pit. I think they know that they can absolutely contest Fnatic for that prize. They see Mushi. He starts walking towards the pit.
They're immediately going to smoke up with 3, though. MP wants the initiation. They want to continue to get aggressive. They think this haunt is too much right now for Fnatic to deal with. And if they could get 1 or 2 core heroes, they could actually get Roshan on their own.
Let's see if they can actually get it here.
Mushi would be the big prize, but Net...
Net, he's going to be able to blink away just in time. Clever Cape gets laid out. Still, though, Q is going to stay on top of DJ. And Net turns around, managed to get off the Hex, but he's not going to be able to save the Chen. The more important target is Mushi. It looks like swap! Long range swap coming out from Febby. They're going to be able to take out Mushi. Everything MVP Phoenix wanted there was acquired. They'll be able to go straight to the Roshan pit and claim the Aegis.
That must have been like the absolute max. Febby's got to be so pleased with himself, as this is going to mean the Aegis for them, which is what Fnatic were essentially waiting for this next fight. And this delays the BKB even further from Mushi.
Obviously, they're not going to now, but do you think Fnatic should have bought back and committed to taking Roshan or contesting?
No, I think they were too far away.
Okay.
MVP are in such a good spot for vision and control. Aegis and cheese for MVP. And they just can, you know, they're not playing back in their base anymore. Like, they're content to exit the map, look for these smoke engagements, fight around the haunt. They realize they're incredibly strong right now. The Ursa's effectiveness is starting to wear thin.
It certainly is, with the way that he is stalling out on items. He is only sitting at 11k net worth. QO is almost 20k. And he's going to have a heart soon. We have the items about to be complete for Forev. The items are just rolling in. The AC is basically complete. They're trying to get buyback gold as well. But they could have a completed AC if they wanted.
MVP gonna force in this mid lane. It is being pushed in by the super melee creeps. As they've got Aegis, they can decide to do whatever they want as soon as they've got Haunt up. MP's almost got the full AC completed. You probably wait for that.
Meanwhile, Furion gets the BKB, but that's pretty much the only item you can talk about for Fnatic. And I don't think it really changes all that much. So now it's Fnatic's turn to be the ones trying to split push and slow down this game so they can get some recovery items.
Radiant's middle tower.
As you can see, Ohio, I think he's actually going to cut the creep wave here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, trying to slow down this push. I believe that's a fully completed heart though from QO. He's going to shove in all the lanes. And Fnatic, they don't have enough to deal with this hero by themselves. And with the Haunt available, there's no way that they take this fight. Especially with the AC flying in from MP.
Radiant's middle tower
They
is
might just decide to go further with this too. They can protect this creep wave, which they don't. The creep almost immediately dies.
So that means MVP Phoenix are going to have to move back and get some control of their other lanes. Maybe they can gank up Mushi, but I bet he's going to back up now. Fnatic's movement is pretty good, but now they're actually going to try and catch something here with the Spectre. They're easily going to be able to get the Nature's Prophet. He jumps over to Mushi now, who is not going to be able to TP out. Mushi gets caught. That is 2 cores down. And now, finally, MVP Phoenix have the opportunity to truly go uphill.
Yeah, this Ursa has really started to lose its effectiveness for Fnatic. Like, the timing window of this hero is really kind of faded away. They couldn't afford to lose him this many times over. And MVP are just abusing him right now. He's not able to ever get his enrage. The Diffusal Blade before the BKB not paying off for him either. Fnatic are now being pushed inside their base as Kyo's most likely going to get the boots of travel and join the rest of his team. With both of these cores down, Fnatic, what do you really do in this position?
Yeah, you can't afford a buyback just because the Ursa has already been stalled up enough in his items, but do you really give MVP Phoenix the opportunity to take a full lane Rex? Because they've got 10 seconds to do it with God's strength. They should be able to complete it, at least, at the very least, the melee Rex.
Yeah, I think they can get both.
Yeah.
With Ursa up in 5 seconds, they know that he's not going to commit the buyback for this. It's another set of racks down for Fnatic. And they're just steadily getting further and further behind.
Where's our Chen going? I wasn't sure about Aghanims, but I honestly didn't think that Chen would go any other item, but he's got an ultimate orb. Is Lincoln's better here, or is this the Scythe of Ice?
I really don't even know. Maybe... probably a Hex? I can't imagine the Lincoln's being the best item. I'm not even sure what a Chen is supposed to do in a game like this. Like, they have so many heroes that just can't fight anymore. We talked about that being the weakness of Fnatic's lineup at the beginning of the game, where just like they're going to be really hard pressed if their laning phase doesn't transition into something else. Because MVP's lineup is just smooth all across the board. They've got team fight late game. And we're seeing that right now because they just don't have the lockdown for all of these cores.
Jump in, MP. He's going to be able to blow up DJ almost immediately. He does have some time to be able to get off his ultimate. He's not actually using it, and that means Brev's going to be able to get the kill instead. Mid-one's just sitting there trying to beat down MP, but he can't even do that much. Oh no! Lucian's trying to catch up, throws out the enrage. He's going to be stalled up. They can't kill this Fed. They're going to turn on the Vivi instead, but it's a pittance as MVP's Phoenix's core still goes strong, and they call it. MVP Phoenix will take it in a 2-0 as they come back in game number 2 to clean out the series.
And the C Dota boys are going to walk away with the top 4 berth. GG as Fnatic are knocked out of the tournament. I still think they can hold their heads up high as securing a top 6 in a tournament like this, knocking out the previous major champions is still a feat, but MVP's journey to continue on as they have to now face EG.
That is probably going to be the toughest opponent that they've faced so far. Of course, first we have a winner's bracket matchup